She would have kids do the anchor charts. But she would always write in, like whatever we're teaching, she would almost like write out like the script of what's going on, and at what point in the learning, if I needed to deviate because of this, what do I teach? If the kids don't get this, then what do I teach? If the kids get this but don't get that, then I'm gonna go teach this. So in her mind, not only does she have it written out, and not only do I have it written out, because I keep a journal with me for each class. So that as I'm preparing for each class, I know what I'm gonna give my kids. And so once you have, this is what I'm gonna do, then I'm gonna say, these are the questions I'm gonna ask to support what I'm trying to get them to see.
Sort of.
And it sounds like a lot, but it really is not.
It sort of reminds me of this idea of having a scribe in classes, like having a student write down, like, this is what happened during class. Because I think the situations of unknown that turn into those oh shit moments are when a teacher doesn't see the signs. And if we're using the analogy of being out in the outdoors, it's someone who's not experienced, who doesn't realize that they're getting themselves into a more and more precarious situation. As a teacher, you need to recognize, like, my class went from just a couple kids not knowing to a bunch of kids now don't know to, okay, now we're going towards nobody really knows. And the worst situation that you can find yourself in, which we have both in our experience found ourselves in, that nobody is with you, nobody's learning anything, and you have no idea why. And then you can make it even worse, really dig yourself a hole by blaming the kids for not learning. That is a situation where you're not controlling what you can control. So what are, you talked about Kay Davis's little notebook, but what are some of the signs that you see of where, the kids are not getting it and you need to go to your contingency plans?
Those are those little assessments that we do throughout the class and throughout the lesson. I think that's you can't really, it's different each time. Some classes, some kids will be vocal. Hey, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Some kids, you just kind of got to look into the crowd and see the faces. We've all been in that PD where somebody says something and you have this look on your face. You kind of look around and you see other people look the exact same way. And it's like, nobody really understood that. And then comes the text message. Did you know what that meant? Well, what is that? Or you start Googling things. You start looking for those signs. But I think that as a teacher, when you put those formative assessments in those formative assessments within your lesson, and you're constantly assessing your kids as they're working, as they're learning, it's like you do this. Now let me back up. I'm gonna start it over. Give you some different numbers. Now what do you do first? Okay, let's rock and roll. Okay, now we got this. Okay, now I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna change the numbers up. Now what are you gonna do with this one? Okay, I got it. Okay, bam. Okay, I'm gonna do. So you see at each level where the kids are. And again, are you gonna hit 100% every time? No. When you do, that's like teaching gold. When you get 100% of your kids to get a lesson that you taught. And I think maybe I've been a little bit more fortunate teaching GT that I've had those experiences, but I've had some of those experiences in some of my SPED classes where those kids, with fractions, and you're working with rainbow tiles, the tactile learners, those kids who actually touch this, like boom, 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 I got this. Oh, nope, got it. And when you see all those hands up at the same time and everybody has the same response, you get excited. So it's like you kind of got to feel the room each time you're teaching, because each class is going to respond differently to not getting it.